All right, so what I've done here is measure from this wall to the front wall by the garage doors and split that measurement in half. So what we're gonna do is when I mark this out, I'm gonna drop a plumb bob or something that I can find to mark plumb on the floor right here. And then I've measured our back hallway. So what we'll end up doing is from this angle, there'll be like a sort of a little back hallway here that'll be hidden. These boards here will be where the wall is going. So it's a little hallway, and you'll walk in it like this, and we'll have like washer and dryer, and then places to hang things on the walls, stuff like that. So if that's where the wall is going, then that's also where the post is going. We're going to do the posts in the wall. So what I'll do there is I'll have to cut this board right here because it happens to be straight in line with the ridge. And I'm just going to mark these out. That way, whenever we get a saw from Home Depot or wherever we decide to rent a concrete saw from, I can come in here and rock and roll with it. So that's that for now, and I'll just take a few time lapses here. We'll see how it goes.
You see, stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on two separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on two separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound, impossible to obtain in a monaural recording.
One post. So the only reason this part is confusing is because laying out this one, you got to take into consideration our wall going there. This one took me a minute to figure out. I'm just letting that stabilize there. It'll stop swinging. This one took me a minute to figure out because if this is going to be our living room here, and then this is going to be where the bed's going to go up against this wall, sort of the bedroom corner, then I don't want that post that's going there, where my plumb bob is. I don't want that post interfering with where the couch is going to go or anything. So what I'm figuring is if the TV is on that wall, round about where the window is, right under the window, sort of our entertainment center, then this saw table is a good representation of where the couch is going to go. So if the couch goes here and you have room for like a L shape or anything like that type of couch, you want to be able to scoot it back enough away from the TV where you got living room space on this side, which I think we do. That's plenty of, it's like 8 foot from the saw to here, and then you still got this room, so I think we're good. So I just wanted to take into consideration this post being behind the couch, not pushing it this way, our furniture this way, and far enough this way to where it's not really going to interfere. Of course, the primary reason for it is for structure, so I want it to be as center as possible of the garage. But on a second thought, you also don't want it interfering with furniture and things like that. So that's kind of why I chose this exact spot, and as well as it's kind of complicated to lay out this where the top of the beam should go, because let me get up here and I'll show you. Because this is where the this is where the beam's gonna go, in between the space here, and that looks pretty cool. You can see where it's gonna go all the way down through there. So if that's where the beam's gonna go, then and this is a 2x8, so this is where we're planning on doing the faux beams on. I gotta sort of think ahead here and think of where my faux beam is gonna go here in relation to this post and how far it's going to stick out. Because I want, if the faux beam is going to be 6 inches, which here's my calibrated 6 inches, then I just assume that my vertical post is going to be 6 inches as well. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use 6x6s. So I want this faux beam that's going down the wall that way for the ceiling to line up the best I can with the vertical beam. That way we don't have a faux beam going this way and, you know, the post being offset from it. So that's why it took me a minute to lay out exactly how far left to right, but it's not critical right now because this is just for laying out the center of the post. That way I can get me a hole cut here and pour my footer for the concrete and get a nice strong foundation for this post. So on to the I'm gonna mark this one out and then on to the last one and then we'll be done. So the reason I did this one a little different is all I did was measure the width of the block wall on this side. It's around 7.5 inches. So went ahead and measured that off of the outside of this wall here, which is also the edge of my concrete. Measured in 7.5 inches, so that's where my wall is going to be, and then went ahead and added the wall that will be going in there, which will be 2x4, so 3.5 inches, and then added another about 1/2 inch on the outside of that for drywall, and that puts me about right here. This orange, all I did was put my board there and painted that, so that's going to represent what's all going to be in the wall, which that's where I want my post to be, right there, tucked nicely inside the wall. And I believe a 6x6 actually measures something like 5 probably 5.5. They're usually a little shorter. So if we go with 5.5 and put the center on about 2 3/4, I'm assuming that's what it's going to be. That puts us poking out of the wall just a little bit, which is what I want. So 2 3/4. So if right here is where the edge of my post is going to be, and the orange is going to be my wall, it's going to be sticking out. The post will be visible outside of the drywall by about that much. I'd be okay with it poking out a little bit further. We might play with this adjustment. I might put the post a little bit further this way, but for as far as rough cut and pouring concrete, that's good for me. So now we can rent us a saw, cut that square out, that square out, that square out, and we went ahead and popped our lines for over here. So on this corner of the garage is where our concrete slab is sinking. You can tell I got a crack here. The crack is running along here. It's about maybe 2 foot long. And you can see where the depth off of that line on the block wall changes right about here, and it gets lower and lower and lower. So where this has settled, and a couple blocks on that corner has settled. The previous owner said that it's been like this since 1960, so we're not too concerned with this. I did originally want to fix it. After seeing the price, I wanted to try to fix it myself. After seeing the price of a professional, all they do is go down under the footer and jack it back up and pump some concrete under it. But for now, we're just focused on the floor. I could go back and fix that anytime since it's an outside fix. But we're trying to get this floor level. You can see the original line. The white line there is the original. So we need to get this slab back up. It just so happens that this slab is where the bathroom is going to go. So that's where we have to do our plumbing anyway. So it's kind of a win-win. We will cut this slab out here, and we get to do our plumbing, do our backfill, and then just reconcrete it level. So that's what we'll do there, and then you can see it's still coming up, and then here's the other crack where it joins, and it comes out to about here. So after talking to Dad about it, he said, well, why don't you just cut the slab out, and then you can do your plumbing a lot easier. And that was partially his idea. So what we're going to do is I got my red chalk line here coming out to about here, and then running down to the wall there. So it'll be a big square that's coming out, but we will at least know that this side is level, and it'll be easier to do our plumbing that way. Alright, that pretty much wraps up this week's video. Thank y'all for watching and following along as we're learning how to set these posts and get this roof supported. I still got a lot of footage to put together, so we got a lot of videos coming your way. We still have to bust up the floor, get ready for plumbing over there. We're trying to wait till plywood prices go down before we can buy our sheathing for the roof. We got to get prepped for sheathing and shingles to redo the roof. And after the roof is done, we can go ahead and rip out all these support boards, get these 2x4s out of the way so we can open up the garage and have all this room to use. And then we can continue with the rest of the build. So please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.